Yeah, that's a wonderful island. I know what to expect now next time I go there. You know, but I had a wonderful week and a half. Nice small island, had fun. I got massages every day or twice a day. So that was my experiment when I went to Thailand. And right there, that put me into a meditation instantly, because the body relaxes.
יש לך תרגום שאת בסדר?
היא בסדר, אבל כאילו את יודעת, אולי זה מילים שאני לא מכירה.
אם יש משהו שאת לא מבינה, פשוט תעשי ככה, ואני... I'll translate for you if there's any words that you don't understand.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so I think we can actually...
Yeah, we're rolling right now.
Yeah, just roll.
Every day is a retreat. This is all we talk about.
ואת תסמני לנו נניח שעתיים. זה מה שאנחנו צריכים So we have 2 hours.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, here I am in wonderful Israel. And I love it each time I come here. This is my 3rd time. And I love the landscape of the land. And we're up here in the north with all this greenery. It's hotter when it gets to the south, so I love it. Mountains up north. But each landscape you pick, this energy we're talking about or living on prana is everywhere. So that same pranic energy, when I was in the U.S., it was there. Europe, Africa, Asia. You need to translate?
No, it's okay. No.
If Galit needs, she will just
Raise the hand.
Nirit v'Galit. Nirit v'Galit. Like 2 twins. Yeah.
And to catch you up to date, okay, I'm Elitam Elamine from the USA, and I've been on the pranic path for 19 years. And what that means is, I call myself a breatharian. You hear other words, solitarian. And that comes from an ancient word, of anidia. And that means to eat very little or none at all. Now what do very little mean? I don't mean once a day, you know, it could be, that's how you define it. But that means you could go once every 3 days, once a week, just to explore something for the experience. But you're not on the survival level no more. Being food free is a skill that you can develop. So you do have to make a transformation on your thought process that will change the body. Now when I first started the pranic path, I used to say it was 80% mental and 20% physical. But where I'm at now, nah. It's 100% mental. 100%. Because your body is an extension of your brain. This is your thought process. Now tonight, I call this teaching the Breatharian GODDESS. Now listen at this now. We've been used to that word God. We've been used to that word God, and we think of a male all the time, the male energy in society. And when we do talk about the goddess, it's like, well, she used to, that's what we say. In ancient times, she used to, but now we kind of, But right now, as time is going forward, what I see around the planet, the goddess principle or the concept is resurrecting itself like never before. What is this?
הכוח של האלה מתעורר.
Because male energy dominated this planet for so long, and now we have to balance it.
Right.
Woman is coming up, and woman is leading now the consciousness development and the enlightenment and everything. Until we're totally balanced.
And that's important what she said.
So I'm surprised you were not born woman in this incarnation.
Yeah. I am a woman, I'm just a modified one. I'm a woman turned inside out. Don't forget that now. See, in order for me to live on prana, now listen at this. I had to learn the female principle. This is what people don't understand. This is why I got to teach this. See, You just think I just came through the male principle. No, I didn't. But once I understood what they were talking about, because keep in mind, you might say, we're looking at you. You are not a female. I came out of one. There's no separation. See, that's us who separate things. That's an illusion. So everything that woman was feeding me and doing and building my body went inside of me. So that's why they say a male has the female already in him, and the female has the male already in her. But it's us in duality who just make them worlds apart. And we shouldn't have to. So you have to bring it back together in order to be sustained on prana. Did I say that? That's why in ancient times, all the scriptures is talking about the male and female principle, and they are together. Adam and Eve, Shiva and Shakti, Og and Og, on these different cultures.
מה שהוא אומר למעשה זה שחשוב כדי באמת שיהיה את היכולת המושלמת ללכת בדרך הפרנה, וזה לא אומר אם כן לאכול או לא לאכול, זה אומר קודם כל פה היכולת המנטלית לספוג את האנרגיה הזאת הקיומית, שיהיה איחוד בחזרה של האנרגיות הנגביות והזכריות, כמו שהיה בזמן אדם הראשון, שהם היו אחד, אחדות.
Now, listen at this. So we talk about there was a fall of consciousness, right? Now, we don't have to go into history and act like that's true. But if there was a fall of something, that means it can pick itself back up. So in order for me to live on prana, not only I had to learn the female principle, guess what I had to do? Pick her back up that was inside of me so she could get married. To who? These two hemispheres of the brain. Now we say this, but let's bring it together. We say one is logic, one is creativity, one is male, one is female, one is dominating the other. But they must come together on our thought process. So when we look at the goddess, we hear about the goddess of beauty, the goddess of war, the goddess of love. But there's another powerful goddess that they always relate her with, virginity. Why would they say that?
אלה שמקושרת לכוח של הבתולים, הבתוליות.
And that means that she's naive or innocent. She's pure. This is what we're talking about now. She hasn't been contaminated. But we're talking about this other hemisphere of the female principle. So that's why all cultures is also talking about being born again. Taking on a new birth. Now what did that mean? Taking on a new idea. To live on prana, you must learn to think differently. Because the other female aspect in us already been contaminated. She had a new lover, which was the lower vibration. Believed everything he said. And he was lying to her. She kept coming back. But the other female goddess, why would she want to be food free and get back to her other lover? He promises immortality, good life, and living good. Is that possible? Here we go. And that's why we're doing it. Why would I go to be food free? This is the immortal path. Because all power is in us. We're in the age of empowerment. And that's why we say, all power is in my hands. All power is in my hands. I want to live forever. I want to live forever. bees. I created the flowers and the trees. Everything is okay by me. Ha 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 ha. All power is in my hands. All power is in my hands. I wanna live forever. I wanna live forever. I wanna live forever. All power is in my hands. All power is in my hands. I live in peace and harmony. This is a life and a way to be. Everything is okay by me. Ha 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 ha. All power is in my hands. All power is in my hands. I wanna live forever. I wanna live forever. I wanna live forever. All power is in my hands. All power is in my hands. Ha 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 all power is in my hands. All power is in my hands. I wanna live forever. I wanna live forever. I wanna live forever. All power is in my hands. And that's what we want. We want this power back.
All power within myself.
All power within myself. All power is in myself. I wanna live forever. I wanna live forever. I wanna live forever. All power within myself. All power within myself. Oh, you gotta love this. That's what we're doing it for. But it's the goddess who must be resurrected that will make this happen. She's the powerful force. Now, as she settled down, we'll go into it more. Why we need this force to be resurrected. And we got to help her once we know who she is. Because if you don't know what this force is or what it's trying to do, you could be in the way of your own development. And that's what we want to do, get out the way. Now, the female represents the receptive, the receiving principle. So now, when you live on prana, we live in a realm where cosmic energy, alien energies, is constantly raining down on us. You were just talking about the heat.
איך את עם אנגלית? אוקיי, אם יש משהו שאת לא מבינה, אז בשבילי וגם את, אני ממש רוצה שהכל יהיה ברור לך.
Talking about the weather. Talking about the molecules, the gases we live in. That's what you're talking. Nature. What is it doing? But it's sustaining all of us. It's doing this part. The cosmic energies, no matter where you go on this planet, everywhere humanity is at, this force of the male principle, which is the one that's active, is touching everybody. However, this receptive principle, the plants got it. They're practicing photosynthesis. They're freely allowing this cosmic energy to rain on them, and they're using it because it's there, it's free. But as humans, you could practice photosynthesis too. Now, they already told you in the medical profession that you receive vitamin D from the sun. How do you do that? Do you know how that's done? You don't need to. The body's already doing it for you because it's receiving the cosmic energies. And then synthesis means to combine or put something together. Your body is doing that and don't need you to help it. But it can do other things because it's the female principle. But there's something in us, that Eve, that goddess, who is not accepting everything that the cosmos has given us. She's blocking it. she keep redirecting her attention to the lower frequencies. Now, we were born into it, so you don't notice it. That's why they keep saying there was a fall of consciousness. You hear about the female goddess in ancient times, having all this power, but all of a sudden it sounds like a myth. It ain't no myth. She's still here. We just have to identify who and what she is. So the cosmic energy, the Shiva, is already there, saying here. And even here in India, where we at? Israel, they got the teachings called the Kabbalah. And they're telling you that the energies of the will to bestow is automatically hitting all of humanity. But the creature who's the receiver, the female, see, all of us is female. All you got to do is receive the cosmic energies that's there for you. That's all you got to do. Let go. Relax. Now listen at this now. But somewhere along the way, when this divorce took place, the goddess principle that's in us keeps saying, this might not can support me. I'm going back to the lover that I'm familiar with. Uh-oh. I need food. I need water. I got to survive. But I thought the goddess was powerful. She don't know, because you was born into it. But she won't fully let go because she don't know or trust the cosmic energies, the forces she live in. So you got to build a new relationship. You disappeared for a while. So as the goddess is making this resurrection, coming back up on my own journey, because I seen the goddess and I said, well, I'm not a female, until the spirit had to talk to me. Oh yeah, you are. You just have to let go. You have to receive. So the cosmic energy is one thing, but guess what the next phase is? Self-knowledge. You got to know how to work with these energies. Now you started out saying a good thing when you went to co-painting about how you had to lay there on a water fast to allow your body to heal itself. There we go again. Didn't have to go to the doctor. Nature was already willing and able to keep healing you. It won't stop. It does this every day. We're living in it. But now we need self-knowledge to trust ourselves and to trust nature even more. And in ancient times they said that's the sky father. Then we got Mother Earth. They must come together to bring back that marriage, or the two pillars coming back together. So that's why in the Kabbalah they said the creature has to figure out it's the one that has to make the changes. The lover is already there. So as we come back into the goddess principle, we got to gain self-knowledge and start letting develop. Now, what do I mean by self-knowledge? Let's break it down and stop making it mythical. There was a time when a growl come in my stomach. And the first thing I say, I'm hungry. Because it growled. Now, they had nothing to do with hunger. The goddess that's in me was moving toxicity so she could get back to the cosmic energy. But I jumped in the way.
את צריכה הסברה? אז הוא אומר, when you say, what is it?
A sound.
אוקיי. ברגע שהקיבה מתחילה לנהום ורוצה את האוכל שלה, בדרך כלל אנחנו רוצים מיד להכניס אוכל. ואפשר להתייחס לזה כאל תודעת האלה שמזיזה בפנים חומרים בשביל לנקות את הגוף או תהליכים אחרים. זאת אומרת, מה שאנחנו מפרשים כרעב, בגלל שאנחנו רגילים, זה יכול להיות תהליכים אחרים לגמרי.
So I jumping away due to my education. I'm hungry. Not thinking about it. Just because I felt something growl or hurt it, I'm hungry. So I put more food on top of it. And when the growl stopped, I solved it. And all I did was put the goddess back down. I suppressed her. That's why they give you the story
הוא מעך את האלה.
of Shiva and Shakti.
בדיקה.
Shiva is always trying to rise upwards as she keeps going through this maze. You ever heard this story? She finds a blockage. Then she tries to go to another way, find another blockage. But she's always trying to get back to her lover. He's already come. He want to find her too. But there's this blockage that's taking place. But the blockage is coming from us on our last way of thinking. See, all of us has been suppressing the feminine energy. We ain't understanding. So living on prana, you don't have to get educated on the male principle. It's already there. We were loud and clear. It's the feminine we must get educated on now. Her biology, how she's working, what she's thinking about, what her needs are. And when we meet those needs, she's happy. Don't they say if the female ain't happy, the whole house ain't happy?
The whole world ain't.
The whole world ain't happy because the female ain't happy.
זה הבעיה, that's the problem.
That's the truth.
Once in the ancient times, every female had priests serving her so she could be happy. Every goddess had 10 priests serving her so she could be happy.
Listen at this. Now she's telling it in ancient times.
Ancient.
But what happened?
What happened? That's the question.
Right. We don't understand what she needs now. How to cater to her. How to make her happy. Right. So everybody's messed up. So when we look at like the preventable diseases in the West, we could boldly say that they're disrespecting the goddess. That's all it is. She's there, but everybody's suppressing the new idea. Because the goddess, she's immortal. She's self-sustaining. She is. She can magnetize things and bring it to her. That's how much power she got when she comes into her fullness. So this is something we all must work on. But the old idea that was given to the goddess, if you don't eat, you'll die. You need to get your vitamins, minerals.
Take this apple.
Take this apple. Don't it look good to the eyes? Oh, yeah. Right. And that's why in the story when you read it, I'm not trying to talk religion. It says, now you're going to have pain in childbirth. Now, what did this mean? That means that the new goddess principle, every time she tries to give birth to a new idea, it brings forth suffering. That's why we say people bring their own suffering due to the way they're thinking. Ain't nobody making you suffer. It's just that we don't understand these energies. Is this kind of making sense now? She's already powerful, but it's the awareness of it. So that's why when I say for myself, since I got where I'm at now, I'm living in heaven. A life with no problems. And people say, oh, that can't be. But that's the female principle that resurrected in me. Why should she have problems in her creation? So I got to question everybody else. What's going on? How you treating your woman? Uh-oh. Now let's look at it now.
The inner woman. Huh?
The inner woman.
Exactly.
This is what we want to look at.
Everything's inside.
Everything's inside. Because the physical is a mirror image of the invisible. That's why when I said, Well, y'all looked at me and, oh, you a male. And I said, well, I'm a female turned inside out. I can't be intimidated. I got to talk back. But I had to understand it. Right. So therefore, when you're dealing with the breatharian journey, where we at now, there's enough information that resurrected itself. We live in a user-friendly universe. Creation itself wants the female to come online. We got more knowledge on fasting like never before. Why is that? To help the female to come back. I want you to fully receive me. That's what creation's saying. Get that stuff out of your intestines. That's what it's saying. I'm going to give you the knowledge.
By the way, all of the just down there, there's an ancient museum of goddesses, figurines from the old Canaanite era.
She wanted to go there today.
They were, yeah, I'm connected there, they're ancient, I can't help it. And they were, it's like it's this body and inside is an ancient, but they were very like earth, full and everything. All of the goddesses, just in Egypt you see them slim. That's very interesting.
Right.
The goddesses of the land are like full,
Curved.
feminine.
Full.
Yeah. Curved.
Curved. Beautiful. Natural.
Natural.
Not contaminated. That's the virgin idea. The innocent idea. It wasn't thinking on manipulation. Division. See, this is where the thought has to go now. Because the thought now that we have is in division. You can't help it. It's in your language. You got the physical body. You got the emotional. You got the mental. You got the spiritual. That's how we talk. Dividing things. But the goddess, she knows that this is all one. There ain't no separation. That's why she was looking full. I am the spirit you're looking at. I am light that you're looking at. What would there be? That's all you see. But we're looking for something else. That ain't what the goddess look like. Yeah, that's what it looked like. I'm looking at it. So there's a pride now that got to come up into you. Not how should we say, a self-conceited pride. But knowing who you are means a lot.
שתבוא איזושהי גאווה אמיתית, מחוברת, שנובעת מתוך הידיעה של המהות שלי, מי אני? חיבור למהות.
Bottom line, I live on prana because I'm supposed to. That's my birthright. This is what I was born into. You got all this nourishment you living in. All this protein. See, when you look up the definition of air, you're living in the substance. You're living in something. It's sort of like a fish living in water. There's some fish probably don't know water is right around it. Somebody got to tell them, don't you know you're living in something? This is empty space. That's what the fish is saying. But there's a spiritual fish. Watch me make this bubble. Right.
And that could be the secret of the fish symbol that the Christians showed each other.
Right.
Yeah.
We got all this symbolism showing us things.
It's beautiful.
The fish, the water. Now this is the water goddess.
Water goddess.
Right.
Imanja.
And right now, just kind of feel the air. Don't you feel the moisture in the air? There's moisture here. Everything you need. And I think you said something real good one day, that the average person's body is receiving about a liter of water a day.
Just from the outside, about a liter, liter and a half, liter v'chetzi, we bring in just from the skin.
Just from the skin. See,
From the water and the air.
And from like the shower and the bath, to come in
oh.
contact with the
Okay.
water, also ganze,
Right.
also this.
So you can sit in a pool all day and be breatharian.
exactly. The water is very important.
In the rain.
And she's not exaggerating. When I was in Tel Aviv, I was with a friend, and we went, swimming every day out in the ocean. And I wasn't drinking or anything. But about the third day, I had to use the bathroom, you know, to urinate. My skin absorbed the water out there, knew to get rid of it. See, we have these amazing feminine bodies. Look how I said that. It's a receiving vehicle. It's receiving all it needs. But we have to learn how to slowly let go. Now listen at that word slowly now. Because our vibration, this is why we got to make a transition. We've been born into it. We have been born out of vibration that has trouble comprehending the higher vibration. So it will take a minute as you go through the process. Is this making sense? But this is the good point. When we use that term spirituality, in the past people made it like you got to do these difficult rituals on yourself. You know, like fast for 40 days and 40 nights, and then you're going to make this transition. You know, we beat up on ourselves. And we live in an age where we got this new schedule, not like the past, where we got our livelihoods, we got to chase money, get the rent paid. How can I spend time on myself if I got all this stuff to do? This is heavy. This is just reality. Children are raised. People with all these demands. Somebody said, well, Tom, we're not living a life like you. You was up in the cave. But I didn't start out from there. You start out where you at, because remember how we started out this? Prana's everywhere. It don't matter where you're going. It don't matter where you live. This is heavy now. And the universe is user-friendly. It will help you when you open up your heart and really want to learn and know, because the answers will start coming out to you on what you need to do next. Because you also live in this realm of what? Information. This is the wider consciousness. But you have to grow into it. But that's the power of the goddess in them. She has to receive this information, trust herself, and trust creation. Well, right now she's scared. Due to what she's been through, you can't help it. She was serving a lower frequency. It was mean. Bad boyfriend. Bad husband.
And that's just our thoughts that are taking us down, because each time we want to go to a higher level, or we received a gift of the higher level, then the thoughts come and try to drag you back.
So it's a battle of the thoughts.
Right.
But like I said, we live in that age where you have full support now from the light itself, from the universe. The goddess is going to resurrect herself regardless. Everybody's coming. That's why this information now is coming so freely. And not only this, I'm in the land of Israel again. The Kabbalah made his resurrection. The Zohar. We got things like, what's that meditation? Vipassana.
Vipassana.
Right. And I can name many other things that's making a resurrection. It's been here all the time, but now it's coming out of the closets. These are different tools, different therapies to use to get ourselves together. And all of humanity is first going to have to go through a healing crisis. Does this make sense? Because God has been through some things.
Yeah.
She got trauma. That blocks the light. That blocks the frequency. So we got to work on these traumas. That's why when they give us the story of Buddha, when he was sitting up under the Bodhi tree, now he didn't have no special technique. He was just sitting there. And his past trauma automatically came to the surface. That's the female again. She's always trying to come to the surface, but when we didn't understand this, we suppress her again. Why am I getting these thoughts? And we think something's wrong. Why am I feeling this way? So you go get a pill. Go get some food. You jump in another unnecessary relationship instead of dealing to let the goddess free. That's all she want to do.
So how we do it?
Huh?
How we do it?
Good question.
Okay.
Good question. Now we're going to lay down a foundation because we're building something now. And there's two foundations that need to be built. Now this will come in another one, but first we'll deal with the one. All right. And we start building a platform for the female goddess to come back. We want to give her proper support. Does this make sense? Because we're growing something. And as I say this, let's take out the mythology. You want to start putting yourself in a better position to start working on yourself. It's all about time management. Because perfect health is time management as we bring the goddess back and start working on her. I did a Facebook post one time where I said, you should live your life like you're pregnant all the time.
That's amazing.
Right. And I'm a male and I'm talking like that. I'd be like, I can't lift that. That'll hurt my body. Right. Don't be talking like that around me. Right. I'm pregnant.
But healthy pregnant, not a pregnant that's a bed sick.
That's what we
vomiting
want.
all the time.
That's all we know is a healthy pregnancy.
A
Right.
healthy one.
A healthy one. And even when a woman's pregnant, wouldn't you want to eat the right foods at least? See, this message ain't about eating or not eating when you live in a pregnant journey. At least eat the right foods. We're telling you that what? Eat your way to food freedom. Just don't come eating anything and talk about, well, I'm going to lay it down tomorrow. And then, we ain't talking that. We're talking about a cleansing, a healing, to get these traumas let loose. Because food is also connected with thoughts and ideas. I like how you said about, say, for instance, a pig. Eating that and how your body picks up that, what? That consciousness of its suffering. See, this is what we're talking about again.
כאילו כשאוכלים נניח חיות, אז החיות אוכלות זוהמה, ואז הן עוברות סבל בערב שלהם, וכל זה נכנס אלינו ומכביד עלינו.
And then we're talking about colon health. We got to start looking at this, both sickness and disease. Now notice you got right here your solar plexus. Listen at this. Solar plexus, the sun, solar. Plexus, that's like the ganglia where all the little wires and veins, because you're like a biocomputer. That's what they kind of group up. But in a medical dictionary, they actually would tell you that there's a radiation that's coming from here. Because you have you're an electrical being. You have an electrical core. But notice how it sits right on top of the colon. This radiation will light up even more if it had another fuel source. It's ready. But see, the earth principle, which is our physical bodies, and then we got the heat inside of us. The earth could put out the fire if it's too much. See, there's an art to building a fire. And to keep it lit. That's why in the scriptures again it says, what, the fire in the temple must never go out. It was the priest's job every day to make sure the fire was lit. And fire, to light a fire, it's easy to keep it lit. It needs the right, what, oxygen. It needs the air principle. You can't let the water put it out. But see, that's where the water come in on alchemy. You're made of mostly water. And this water is also heated up. From where? Every time you urinate, it's warm. This is warm distilled water in you. How did it get distilled? It's on a fire. Oh, did I say that?
There's a fire goddess sitting inside.
There's a fire goddess inside. There we go.
Right, like this, all the time.
You're dealing with some serious alchemy. You're working on yourself. But going back to this foundation, on how to recondition yourself. Now let's go to some real life stuff. Now food. We got this preventable disease. We're dealing with food. We've been eating all of our lives, and we're professional eaters. We're good at it. So you want to start looking at it differently. So now we also learning cleaning yourself out has great importance. It's sort of like the earth, how water is going down a mountain. But it's also purifying itself. It's cleaning itself on its movement of how it's going through the rocks and stuff like this. This is also taking part inside of us, dealing with the element, the water element, dealing with the blood, the lymph. So therefore, there's moments where we want to clean out the vehicle. This want to be part of our lifestyle. You don't want to get caught up eating every day. That's unnecessary. It's sort of like if you had a factory that was going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Every once in a while you want to shut the machinery down and do maintenance on it, and it will last a lot longer. Now this is basics.
איך לתחזק את המכניזם של הגוף כדי שהמכונה תוכל להמשיך לפעול.
So you can get more use out of it. Now I say this story quite a few times about the man who's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the world's longest driving car. I think he did like over 1 million miles. But they asked him, how did your car do 1 million miles? And there was many more cars, thousands if not millions of them, came out that year off the same assembly line. He said he did what the instruction manual told him to do. You know, whenever time you go a certain amount of kilos or miles, that's when you change the oil. But I know I'm guilty of it. I'm not going to change the oil until the oil light come on. I'm not going to change the tires until something happened to it. That's what we do, you know, the average person. But a person is wise and say, uh-oh, the manual says now it's time to change it. But it still look good. It don't matter. Change the tires because this is what it said from the manufacturer. See, these bodies, these bio machines, yes, it has instructions to go to it. That's what they keep talking about, universal laws. It's under the laws of physics. And you can come more into these laws with the maintenance of it and get better use out of it. Because if you get better use out of it, that right there is the keys of having a better life. Did I say that? Yeah. I met many people who had much money and couldn't even enjoy it because this was Torah. How could you enjoy it? You understand? So I was sitting there saying, well, can I go use your boat? You know, since you can't enjoy it, let me go. Why, sure, Ellie Tom, do it for the both of us. All right. So we got to get back to the basis. That's the goddess again. The goddess loves herself so much, she comes before everything else. That's how you got to look at it. Oh, did I say that? Yeah!
You said it, I'm living it.
Yeah.
You living it!
This should be the sankalpa of the Yoga Nidra, to say it every morning and every evening.
She comes
before
first.
sleeping.
Right.
The God.
And I know sometimes we see those love movies, but there's sense out of it.
Say it again.
When a woman be walking and the dude take off his coat and put it over her puddle so she can walk over, that's how you got to treat yourself.
Say it again, replay. The goddess comes first.
The goddess comes first over everything else. That's the great love affair. That's where it goes at. Right. She knows how to say no. Why not? Because I just can't do that. I love myself. I'm not going to hurt myself. Right. I already got all this. This is mine. Creation. Oh, man, did I say that? This is coming out now. But to tap into this power. Now let's get deeper into the goddess principle. She's also called the magnetism. Listen at that word. The man is the electrical. The woman is the magnetism. And everybody has an electromagnetic field that's on their bodies. We call it the aura. The higher the electricity, the higher the magnetism. The higher the magnetism, the higher the electricity. See, we're taking it for granted though. But when you get your female principle stronger, which is that magnetism, you can create from thought with little or no effort. That's what you do. Your brain actually does create your reality. You got to start thinking differently. And we all experienced it before. You be thinking of something and all of a sudden the right person shows up. The right event takes place. You did that. We're doing it all the time. But she will get stronger when you come into the self-knowledge on how to cultivate it. You won't worry that much no more. You got confidence in it, which is yourself. So number one is, let's go back to that virgin again. The most powerful goddesses out of all of them was the ones who had the virgin character. The one that wasn't polluted. That's why they gave you the story of Mary with the virgin birth. Now listen at this. Let's make it make sense. Let's don't really get too much, did she have a baby and this and that. You know, Jerry Springer wasn't back then. But anyway, let's look at our sexual fluids, whether if you male or female.
עכשיו הוא מדבר על הנוזלים המיניים. זה כולם מבינים. This everybody understands in all the languages. Yeah.
It's clear?
It's clear in all the languages.
Oh, good.
Right.
Now let's get on a physical level of having a baby. Or before the baby even is created. Okay, you got that male and female principle that can actually make a baby. But before we go to that, which is powerful, you're creating something in your likeness and image. Boom. Putting your information, putting your ancestors' information. And you're creating the fluids within your package to be able to do that. But dealing with these fluids, let's go to these fluids now. Due to your lifestyle, it dictates how the fluid looks, how it tastes, how it smells. Now listen at that now. And I've literally seen people that I've known for a long time. One woman in particular, she had 3 different children by 3 different men. And I knew her lifestyle at the time. And I knew the men's lifestyles that she was with. And the children that were born from those unions, I know why they act like that. Because I know the characters and the parents at that time. That means that their thought process went into their fluids. Well,
Fluid, water.
Water!
Excuse me, yes. Water is the element that carries information. So,
it goes back home, don't it? Water is the, what you say again?
the element.
The element that carries information. It has memory. So it does make sense on how you carry your lifestyle. It will dictate how your fluids is in your body. Is this making sense now? From thought,
And
deed, action.
not only of course, the food and the thought process, but also when people come together to create babies. So in Judaism, for example, you should be really clear and say some prayers before. What I mean is to
All
bring
that good stuff.
consciousness and purity of the mind when the baby is conceived. Because if people are in a low frequency,
Right.
the babies will be low frequency. If people are high frequency, then the children will become full of light.
Here we go. So if Mary was given a virgin birth, she must have been at a high frequency thought process. Her fluids was a certain way. Her eggs was a certain way. That's why the baby was holy. Uh-oh. Did I say that? Yeah. She understood the goddess. They just gave you that as a certain, it wasn't just any old woman like that. Absolutely not. There was a separation. But that was a thought process of innocence purity. That's how I was thinking. See, spirituality is connected with purity. On all levels, which is only one level. Because if the physical body is clean, guess what? Your thought process will be clean. Your emotions will be clean. Some people will say to me, how do I clean my emotional body? Go lose some weight. No, I wasn't talking about that. That's what I'm talking about. I'm looking at your emotional body.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. I see it plain as day. It's all one. There ain't no separation.
At least everybody here is just fine. I feel that we're just getting to be prepared to be the light messengers for the people around us.
Already there.
It's amazing.
But going back to the full goddesses, the curved goddesses, so why do you think they need the image of being curved when you're saying this is the emotional body? So you're talking, you understand what I mean? So saying a person that is quite full or fat, he has emotional problems, right? That I think this is what I understood.
Mm-hmm.
So acknowledging that and looking at the goddesses being full, how do you explain that? I mean, I
Honestly, this is a play on definitions and what we're thinking. See, when you said full or curved to me, I wasn't thinking fat. I was just thinking of a pop bottle figure. So what do you mean? Like Buddha, the fat image of being full? See, I don't know what image you're thinking in your mind.
okay, let's take Buddha for example, yes.
No, she's thinking here, that's how the goddess is.
And keep in mind,
full, right?
check this out. Let's take the Buddha statue. There's one that everybody's used to that's heavy. But the original one was thin. The other one came after the fact. So don't too much get caught on the images like that. You understand? It's just like they even had a big thing in America where Santa Claus. But when people start getting more health conscious, well, we shouldn't show him no more. Let's get somebody thinner. So don't too much get caught on that. You understand?
But speaking of symbolism, why not get caught on image? Because image is a symbol.
I think that these symbols were created in a period of time where people were hungry. So, blessfulness and
Right.
abundance to them was like full figures and fat people.
Because there was a time.
Buddha was not fat, but people would
Yeah.
want to look at Buddha and see
Fertility.
something that sends to them abundance, send the message of abundance, and thing wasn't abundant at that time.
There was a time a chief of a tribe, his stomach showed wealth because he was eating. Now we're not saying all symbolism of ancient times you have to accept it hands down. See, we're in the age now where we got enough information from trial and error to where we can look at things and say we're going to take this one because this works and we can throw that one away. We do. We did enough now. So that's why I said now, even dealing with living on prana, you got enough information on prana now more than ever right now today. You ain't even got to go, and I still see people doing it on social media. Well, Jesus lived on prana and such, and you don't need to bring up those names. You don't know them. You never met them. You got people running around right now that's at high degrees of some type of food intake or no intake. Right now, running all around you. And the information is increasing. It's not going to stop. Every time I turn around, there's more information, more information. And look at this technology here, the cell pack. We were just talking about it. Now, I got a cell pack to charge up my cell phone, but I charged that up off the sun. This is recent on this creation. There was a time, for my age, the cell phone wasn't here. That came at a certain time. Matter of fact, the first cell phone I seen was in '88. And it wasn't even with the populace. I just happened to be in the Navy at the time, where I just seen an officer that was at a high rank on a cell phone. And back then it was like a big case. It was a bag, right? Yeah. That's how it was. And then I remember, because I was in communications, I saw the internet, and I thought it was the stupidest thing in the world. Well, that don't make sense. But I saw it. But it didn't hit the populace first. So that goes to show you, too, that some people can get the memo on information sooner than others. You follow me? Because like when I go around, traveling around teaching certain people, depending on where I got, some people is more updated than others. And some people never heard it before, far behind. But you got to plant the seed, cultivate. Eventually everybody will catch on, you know. But that's how knowledge travels. But right now we live in a good age of the feminine. This is why I'm bringing it up. See, even though I'm saying information, this is the information that will free the feminine energy inside of us. Because we're all the feminine, we're the receivers of the cosmic forces. The Sky Father's been doing his job. It's the female who broke. That's why they gave you the image of the female in the body. Not picking on, you know, in the scriptures. Not picking on the physical female. Oh, she made humanity fall. All it was saying that she has a creative principle. That she just wants to create. Energy wants to move. And we're the ones judge it as being good or bad and stuff like that. You don't have to get caught up in that no more. But now she can realize that she can what? Don't have to go for the lower frequencies on that creation. You can come into another creation. Recreate yourself. Or like we say, dead water could be brought back to life. Oh man, did we say that? Now that's very powerful. Can you explain that in a way? Or would that be part of it? But what they're saying is, me and her was on the water. I told you this is the water goddess. And there's some waters deal with the crystals, the molecules, and memory of it. It can be very, very negative. So if it's negative, it can be negative on the health of the body. But you can actually bring that to life again through new thoughts, new intent, purifying the water. And we're mostly water again. So what we're talking about again is bringing yourself back to life. So again, going to the scriptures, they were saying you got to be born again. That old creation on how we're functioning now, it has to go. The behavior has to stop. So that we can bring on a new energy, a new vibration, and a new frequency. And it's a given. It ain't something that, well, maybe him or maybe her. It's a given once you get on this path. So laying down this foundation, we brought up fasting, cleaning the vehicle. That should be part of your new routine of getting this vessel ready to clean itself out to bring in a new frequency. Number 2, exercise. Exercise routine. I know you heard this. Here we go again. I heard that before. And all we saying is, now exercise, once you understand what it is, it's very powerful. Now this is light right here. That's all you see. All you see is light. When you start engaging yourself in exercise, you are working directly with the light. So you can go in the sun and do this all day long. The sun way out there. When you work with this, you're working directly with the light. So we won't take it for granted no more. When you're stretching that leg, even for yoga, and say, oh, I want to touch this. You know, you're starting out or whatever. You're working directly with the light and watching it bend, watching it transform. So it can behave differently. This is your creation. You got access to atoms. You're the center of the universe. So when you get a new concept of exercise, you're going to actually transform the vehicle. Does this make sense? It's just a foundation being laid. I don't mean you got to go get a membership to the gym and, you know, spend 2 hours a day. No, we're not talking all that. Spend some time with the goddess again. Pay her some attention. Tell her she look good. You don't tell her she look good, somebody else will. Or not. tell them, it's a big job taking care of a woman. It is. Right.
Also to cherish.
Right, to cherish.
It's a good word.
Right.
Can.
Even if you ain't look at her and say, you look good today. Right. Oh, they heard it. Takes a lot. Right. Pick up her confidence again so that she could receive more and trust the universe. So we got the what? Fasting so she could get purified, get clean again. And then we start adding exercise to her. And it won't be long that somebody be saying, you look different. What have you been doing with yourself? You know, all you did was walk around the block every day, you know, but that was a lot. Oh, man, you're laying a foundation again so that she can receive more energy. The Cosmic Father is already doing that. He wanted her to come back home. He wanted her pure. He wanted her right. Uh-oh. Then, now listen at this. The food choices she makes. See, I'm talking living on prana, but before you get there now, hold up. You ain't ready yet. Every food holds a vibration, holds its own frequency. Some will do you better than others. Now, on the higher levels of breatharianism, okay, I can easily come out and say all foods is poison. That's at a certain degree. We're not talking that right now trying to hurt everybody. You understand? The universe is user-friendly, so I understand where everybody's at. So work where you're at. And like they say, he who eat less live longer. You understand? Your stomach is only as big as a fist. What are you going to an all-you-can-eat restaurant for? That don't even make sense. Already you lost the battle. So we got to retrain ourselves. And if you're not used to these habits, of course, every time you bring on a new habit, there's going to be that window of, how should I say, uncomfortability. You know, not feeling, they said I'm supposed to feel this way, you know, a new habit is coming in and all this other stuff. It takes a minute for the transition. It might take weeks. It might take, you know, a month. You know, stay in there. Huh? Or who? And it might take a day. Depending on what it is. Where you at and stuff. So we're dealing with what? Fasting. We're dealing with food intake. What we're eating. And we're dealing with exercise. Now's the big one. The way we're looking at things. That's the big one right there. Man, a lot of work to do. So there's a thing called, there's quite a few tools, but there is a thing called mental fasting. Now, we're already used to you are what you eat. But too many people don't know you are what you think. And the person you talk to the most in life is yourself. That's the biggest conversations. I remember when I was in America, I was living in myself in my apartment, and I've been living with myself so long, somebody actually thought I was living with somebody else because they heard this conversation.
What were you saying? Give us an example.
And you're like, go do it. Won't you go do it? I was like, shut up, talk to me. But I'm talking to myself, all right? But we talk to ourselves the most in life. And that's why they show us that famous picture of the devil over here and the angel over here. We do it constantly. And that one voice inside of us, that negative voice, it always over-highlights stuff. You know, so-and-so want to talk to you, and you like bring up the worst case scenario. Or something came late to the house, or you missed the bus, or you missed the appointment. The worst case scenario. And you want to start minimizing that negativity and say it didn't happen like that yet. Even the way a person look at you and we thinking that we know what they thought. You don't know what they thought. So you want to start minimizing that voice again, and that takes time. That takes training to do that. But there's a thing called mental fasting, and this is the hardest fast you can do in your life. They usually say 7 days, but I'm user friendly. At least start out with a day, try a 3-dayer, and then work your way up to a 7-dayer. What it is, or you might have to start out half a day. What it is, you'll pick a day where you don't want to think this voice that talks to you. You don't want to give it no play whatsoever. And pick a day too, just like you're fasting. Don't pick a day where you got to go meet somebody who's stressful and you know you're going to meet them. Just like physical fasting, you want to pick a day where you know it's more, you're going to have an easy day who you meet because you want to monitor your thoughts, the way you're thinking. And every time that negative voice come into play, you just bring it down. Right, don't even give it no play. And you have to train yourself to do this. Because it's constantly going to be wanting to come to the forefront. Think about your mother. Think about your brother. Think about what so-and-so just said last week. You don't want to give it no play whatsoever. And what happens is, as soon as you do feed into it, that means you got to start all over again. So what happens is, a 1-dayer could end up being a week. This is how rough it is when you start monitoring your thoughts like that. But you at least want to start engaging your thought process. Because people ask me now, and I didn't know how far I came until people saying to me, man, that's good how you think like that, but that was years of training again. You know, I was in India, there was situations, I was like, oh, don't worry about it. And then everything just goes down. You know, everybody's getting hyped, but that's what helps you through it. And when everything goes back down, because your thoughts control your physical reality. They really do. So when you don't even get that negativity, that spark, you don't have to get hyped up. Everything's going to be taken care of anyway. Oh, I thought you were about to say something.
Yeah. What I feel about when something negative comes, it comes from depths of even if it's from the childhood or self-worth or all these like beliefs in our subconscious or that rise up with situation that comes in our lives that trigger them. Now, when this thought comes and when we recognize it, when we saw it, what I love to do is to see it and to like take out and not give it energy, but to see the voice that wants my attention, wants to like it's like this demon that wants to like
here it comes. That's it.
And but give it love, like to like transform the energy, not think about something else, like but see this place that wants love, that place that like wants attention and like twist it around.
Oh, absolutely. See, that's another role of therapy, which basically transmuting the energy. It can't be created or destroyed, but you redirected it, which is also awesome. But this all goes on a direction again. We must start doing something with the old Eve so that the new goddess could come on the scene. She must be dealt with. And again, the exercise and the diet will help that. So we got to understand that. See, when you just try to deal with the thoughts without doing this other stuff of the purging, it kind of makes it more difficult. You could go straight with the thoughts, but it makes it more difficult. When you add all of them together, it helps you even more as your thinking start coming along. And that brings another vibration. And you'd be surprised how physical matter will start moving itself around to shift your life and reshift it into another direction. So that's why don't be scared if you see things in the physical moving at a fast pace and it seems confusing. What happened? That's your thoughts changing. Is this making sense? It could be even losing a job or gaining one, another opportunity. Don't be afraid. When you really start working on your thoughts, things will start shifting. And when everything settles down, that's going to be your new direction. This is how powerful it is. So now we got the fasting once a week. We laying this foundation. We got these foods we're dealing with. Start dealing with different frequency foods and eating less, and then also dealing with this thought process. Now the other big one is this living on prana. What is this about? Did I just put tape on my mouth one day? No. Well, people do that. I'll never eat again. Right, here we go again. Meditation is the foundation. Now we must start getting a value out of meditation. Whether if you're already meditating or if you don't really know too much about it, it is a great technology to bring into your life that will transform you on all levels. And it grows. Wherever you grab it from, it ain't like you'll pick it up and it'll get dull one day, and it just keep growing and expanding you. But start where you're at. Now there's so many meditations. You might say, which one? Which one do I use? And all this other stuff. You got meditations dealing with light, meditations dealing with sound, meditations dealing with vibration. But all of them should be geared towards breaking up blockages so that the flow of energy can come through more smoothly through the body. Because we want to connect with another fuel source. See, physical food is fuel, but it's at a denser level, like fossil fuels we put in the car. But now we want to go to another fuel source. Remember I said that male energy, that sky father, that cosmic energy is constantly raining on us. And we're going to do a meditation here in a few where we're going to work more with this energy. So you can feel it. It's all around us. And the more you relax to it, the more it's able to come through the body and break up blockages on its own. And that energy, that female goddess is in you, she always seeks to connect with it on her own. So that's why they even tell you when you meditate, you shouldn't what? Eat something right away and stuff like that. Give it time to settle because she was already,
Or before.
Or before. There you go. Before and after, don't eat nothing. They even go as far as it's better to do yoga on an empty stomach. Listen at this now. Or even when you're sitting there, you ain't even got to do breath work. The breath automatically starts dropping itself. And when you see a baby sleeping at night, his belly going in and out. But as we start aging, all the stress and dealing with all this stuff on the intestines, we start breathing out of our chest. Don't breathe in the abdomen no more. And remember what we said earlier? Most sickness and disease happen right down here. We want to start breathing in it again. Breathing with the whole body. This is breath. It's on the vibration. But what will help it again is that exercise. Getting that blood circulation going again. What we put in our body, start eating lighter, start eating more energetic foods, getting everything circulating. Our thought process is going along with it. It's not thinking negative no more, so you're feeling with a lot more confidence. That's another energy, another vibration. And then this meditation again. You got all these chakra meditations. Oh, I can go on and on and on. But the thing about it is, pick one that you enjoy. If you enjoy something, you'll stick with it a lot longer. Don't try to do something somebody else like you might not like it.
Well, actually, we have around 3/4 of an hour left.
Well, we rolling, ain't we?
Yeah.
She's a good timekeeper. Total Rabah. Total Rabah Koti.
Akoti.
So we getting it? The more I be here in Israel, the more words I pick up, okay? So about 10 more trips there, I'll be speaking the full language.
So that actually.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Great.
So, in these meditations, like I said, it's a lot of fun when you be on this journey. See, we're making it, don't make it like a strain or difficult. See, in the old time, it used to be, what, no pain, no gain. We're rushing to try to be somewhere at a destination. Don't even look at that. Take one day at a time and have fun with what you're doing with your life. This making sense. See, that's an energy within itself. Have fun. Oh, that's how it should be. And then when you're having fun, you'll stay on the path a lot longer. What you been doing lately, being spiritual? My mother called me one time. What you been doing? Evolving. That's what I've been doing, evolving. I've been changing, working on myself. That's a big work. It's a big work taking care of the female again. I had to take her out and take her for a walk. Right?
She's a dog.
Right, she's a dog. Let's go for a walk now. There we go. Right. Gotta take care of her. Buy her gifts. Right. We gotta be creative with her again. That's right. See, we hear these things, but this is some real stuff now. The value that we're giving back to ourselves, that's what we're talking about, because you got this creation that's very, very expensive. Now listen how I said that. See, there's a thing on the internet how it says everything has a price. So it gives a price of how much the United States will cost. There's a price for it. How much will the Dome of the Rock cost? Oh, they got a price for it. Then they go into how much will the ecosystem cost. All this stuff. You know how man is playing around. But what they're getting at is, how much do you cost? Now your self-worth is up to you again. You are the center of life, the center of creation. And the more you start looking at that, that's an energy right there to start nourishing you. Of oneness, of wholeness. This is your world. And it's user-friendly, and it's supposed to give you everything you need. This just ain't no self-help message. You know, I'm trying to pump you up. This is the way I think. How should I think even different? This is awesome, ain't it? But it takes training and time. That negative voice had to be put in check. This is what they think about. This is who you are. This is This is who I am. This is what I'm doing. This is what's for me. This is what, right, until it gets bigger, bigger, stronger, 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 and here it is. Boom. Wow. That's why the placebo effect is still in the medical field, and they don't know how it works, but it's so powerful. So even when we deal with sickness or disease, that's just a wake-up call where you need to go. Don't look at it like it's just something that you did so wrong, you beat up on yourself. Thank you for letting me know where the changes I need to go. Right, and just watch it disappear, watch it grow and grow into it and go another direction. Because the body already knows how to heal itself. It's part of creation again. Nature knows how to heal itself. It does it all the time. The forest burns down. And it won't be long you see a whole new forest. The water cleanses itself. All it needs is a band to get out the way. A pond to clear itself. And even when you go to a junkyard, everything in the junkyard, they'll say, this will dissolve itself and be gone such and such, such and such. Right, everything there is going to be gone someday. So going back to what we were saying, it was hot, you know, those days. Okay, it was. And the sun is so powerful, and yeah, we're not trying to stand directly up under the sun, but that's also a what? An all-natural sauna. Like I said, they fooled me when I was in Thailand just now. Yeah, come get the sauna. And I jumped in the sauna, and I was like, I was already in the sauna, just walking around. I just gave away my money. That's all that happened. They just put me in a box and kept the door open. I was like, big dummy, you know, right? But we got all of this in nature here to help us, and it's always healing us. Healing nature. As soon as you go out in it, all these negative ions cleansing the body. And that's another thing with our foundation. Try to get into nature more. Does this make sense? Get into nature. Take walks with yourself, or get a group of friends. That'd be cool too. And if you ain't got the group, get it started. See, this is a good age we're in. I started a community center one time, and of course they gave me this award saying, you really did this for the people, helping the people. But in my mind, I did it for myself so I can have somebody to talk to. That's what it was for, right? Other than that, I wouldn't have nobody to talk to. I would have been at home. So when I opened the door to a center and had people taking there, I created somebody in my likeness and image. I ain't had to teach no more. Everybody else was teaching. That was me. I was like, I got a place to go to now. I created it. So that's what we got to do. See, the higher vibration changes the lower vibration. See, the human being got the power to change the external. So even the area you at, you might say it's low energy and this and that. Make some changes. Make some tweaks. This is what we do. We're good at it. You're masters of manipulation. So these are the foundations that we must work hard at to bring forth the goddess again, so she can have her platform. See, once the platform is laid for her, she'll take care of the rest. You'll watch her power in action. See, that's why I tell people when you hear about the 7 chakras, all you need to do is take care of the first 3. See, this is where the goddess is having problems. She's already down here with the sexual energy. This is why they show you the serpent coming up the tree or serpent coming up the staff, tempting Eve. This is where she's at. She just needs help getting up to the heart. The heart on up is already connected to the higher forces. The heart chakra is the biggest electrical magnetic field coming from your body. So if this is more cleaned up, the heart chakra is more open. And you're automatically looking at the world differently. It ain't negative no more. So that's why when I came in here earlier, when we was singing, it's a wonderful world. Hey, this was good. The skies are blue. But you see this now. And this again is living on prana. This is the technique. We're looking for something so spooky and so strange, and all it is dealing with a lifestyle that will lead to another a circumstance, another direction, and the energy will keep growing, getting stronger and stronger. Because we are systems of energy held together by thought. So just like when you was a baby, that was you. But the body grew. Now the body, the physical body has a stagnation point on how far it gets. But the energy body goes on and on and on. So now we're talking on, these are invisible forces that you're bringing on that will sustain you. Is this making sense? I hope so. Because our bodies is giving off this vibration. Now, before we get into a meditation to feel these different energies, any questions?
I have a question. So, I wonder, why do we have digestive system?
I'm glad you brought that up. Where you're like a hybrid. So I could come with many different ways on saying this. Change takes place. And have you ever heard of rudimentary organs? A rudimentary organ is organs that you have on your body right now that you don't need right now, but an ancestor probably needed. So therefore, when you look at our body as our digestive system, like my digestive system still works because you live in a realm where it's in its cycle. Like for instance, I was in India and I had this motorcycle. Not eating or drinking, but just living in this realm. There was a bunch of gnats in the middle of the street. So I rolled through them and hit me in the face. So I swallowed some. So that went into my body. You got a digestive system to get rid of things like that. Your digestive system still works on getting rid of pollution. Remember I said we was swimming in the ocean in Tel Aviv? My digestive system got rid of the water that my body brings in that it don't need no more. So it still works, it just works differently than a person who's eating every day. See, we're using it at its lowest level. So when you say, what do you have a digestive system for? It's to get rid of toxicity. So it ain't like it ain't supposed to be there. It's there for a reason. I'm just letting my digestive system work at another level. See, before I started this journey, way back, believe it or not, there was a time I weighed like 190 pounds, which was 87 kilos. So the waist was out here going into a 36, you know, and stuff like that. Now it's down to a 29, same body, but this is working differently than before. Before it was like had to work hard every day. It's eating pizzas and steaks and all this other stuff, and it's backed up, and then if you don't use the bathroom, you're constipated and all this other stuff, and your stomach is hurting, your feet is clogged. I could go on and on and on. So now here it is, nothing's in there, but it's still working. But it's working at a more efficient level. Now, oh man, I could go on and on. Okay, we answered it on that level. Any more questions?
Yes. I do believe that our bodies were not designed to get old.
Right.
This is, kind of keep cool.
Because we don't take care.
No,
then-
just a minute.
okay.
It's something that's not working
Yeah, it's not
right
working
when the
right.
body gets
It's
old.
a malfunction of the original design.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I do believe that thoughts are the most important part affecting my consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that only from believing that I'm not getting old and putting, I lose words. I know
תגיד
this word
בעברית, אבל אני...
לשדר.
Hmm?
לשדר.
To transmit, to,
Yeah.
you know, vibrate.
Right.
I'm sending to my body messages every day that it gets to a perfect balance, and the cell gets to perfect balance, and they get healthier and healthier. And I talk to myself every day. And what I expect to see, for example, is to stop seeing white hair, but it doesn't happen. And also, I look at you.
Mm-hmm.
You have white hair.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking myself, how come?
Now, why are you
What
looking
am
at...
I doing wrong?
Now, check this out. Is it white or is it transparent? And who told you to look at it negatively?
No, I want hair in all kinds of colors. I was like a fairy back in the days of Lemuria. I know that my color would change with my mood. This is what I want.
Oh, well, that's another conversation. Because we could go a little more...
No, so now I'm starting modest, okay? I'm asking my hair to grow with this color, which is not my
Right.
original color, but I don't mind, just grow it a color that I want, that I like. So I'm giving myself the instruction. But
So now you're suffering. Suffering is because you have expectations on how reality should be. See, we bring on our own suffering. Why are you looking at reality like that? And it shouldn't be a problem. So that brings forth suffering because of your expectations. See, hair does not turn transparent or gray. It grows that way. It's a part of nature. See, you could go to a forest and tell an older tree from a younger tree, but that tree don't necessarily have to die in its conditions. It's older, it's giving off another vibration, and you can see it. So we the same way. See, there was something that's in us. There's even a revolution where a lot more men is growing beards. But what happened in our history where they started cutting their beards, where the media came in, they wanted to sell the razors, you understand? So a lot of that comes from the media or making something negative, and it don't have to be when we go back to our nature. Now there's a revolution when you look on YouTube and stuff, where a lot of women especially, because they was catering to the beauty industry. See, a lot of this could be coming from the external. And they're going on a what is that called? The gray journey. Where a lot of people, women are waking up to that, mostly women, saying it's okay for my hair to turn and they're looking beautiful. That shows an age of life, a sign. What you want to keep looking like you're 24? Change takes place, and change is a part of nature. It's not about, see, getting old and aging is two different things. Uh-oh.
No,
But if you're feeding into that other thought,
everything that you're saying is already in my head, but still there's something in there that knows that it can.
All right, well, go for it. And when that happens, bring it to the table. See, now check this out. Now let's get scientific with it. All right. You can live a bad lifestyle where you bring forth premature grain. But now we're in an age where a lot more people are living healthier, and even 60s is the new 40s. But why do those people still have gray hair? A lot of it is genetics and stuff. We're not saying that. It's going to come along. Now, transparent hair or gray hair is stronger than natural hair. Now, let's get into the science of it. This is what I'm teaching. Why my hair is white, and I know it. Now, check this out. My vessel, my energy, is way higher than a 20-year-old's. Because I'm living on planet. My vibration is higher. Without a shadow of a doubt. Every year you live, just by living in this realm, you're getting radiated. Your energy is going to be higher next year at this time, no matter what you do. Just for living in this realm. So as your body's heating itself up, it won't be long, just like a furnace that's changing color, that's getting hotter, that your hair is going to make changes because transparent hair is stronger than natural hair. So it will bring forth more energy. Now for me, for my genetics, is real curl. This is natural curly hair. So therefore it can get in a different wave also. So that's the science behind it. Now what you're hoping for, good luck. Or you can keep on dying it or tell us how it happens. But for right now, this is what they're saying, you know, on a person, that if your body's bringing in more energy, especially consciously, it's going to make those changes anyway. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make the changes. That don't mean you got to wrinkle up and all this other stuff. Just look beautiful and white. This is where we're at. And like I said, there's a big revolution out there now on the internet where mostly women, they ain't feeding into that beauty industry no more, where they're doing some real good styles with their white, gray hair, looking beautiful.
All right, I think it's time for a good meditation.
We will, but I just want to clarify this so people could be clear. And like I said, even on the men's revolution, on growing the beards, there was a time that got cut off. But now there's this big thing coming back, letting it go, turning gray. Right, let it go. And like they said, if your daddy don't got a beard, you got two mamas. But that's a whole other concept. But again, we're not saying anything. Just keep on living and growing and we'll see where it goes. But right now, for myself, great acceptance and I love it. Like I said, I ain't got nothing to do with getting old. I'm with the 20-year-olds, we're climbing up mountains, playing basketball, doing everything. This vehicle is online, without a shadow of a doubt. Now, what you can add with your thought process. See, a thought process brings a certain frequency, but a physical action makes it stronger. So when I gave those different things of physical actions, exercise, if you want to look younger, in a nutshell, if you exercise, meditate, change your diet with that thought process, you will be guaranteed to look younger. Even if your hair does still change color. Does that make sense?
I have to grow patience too.
Huh?
I have to grow patience too.
Right. Now, if your hair stay that way off of those things, cool. Bring it to the table. But if it still changes color, and you're doing the rest of those things and you're healthy, you're doing good. Just accept reality, and you won't suffer. This is what we're saying. Or you're going to bring an unnecessary problem, and that's where suffering coming from. Not accepting reality. I'm somebody's daddy. My son's grown. I'm supposed to look the same age he is. I'm his daddy. I'm the Abba the Father. Right. Enjoy it. Right. That's his job. This is where we at.
I think it's beautiful to be lihirot, in the question. You have a question of your white hair. You ask the question outside. He only answers his answer for him.
Right.
You have the question for you.
He was also an answer.
Yeah. But you have a question. To live in this question. As your thoughts, as your consciousness expands, you can ask your question to your hair to hear the message. If there's a message from the hair, you have a question, you may have an answer.
It says it's on the way.
Okay, but there's also, I talk to my hair and I ask it for the information, for the guidance. Do you need help? Right? Are you helping me? So there's information. When you have a question, you have the answer. You have information in your consciousness because you are the source of information. You are the source of the question. You are the source for the answer.
It's me right now, so I'm asking
Yeah.
the question.
Also me. Yes.
Can I have an answer?
Also me.
Yes.
Right? So for me, my question is a different answer for me. Okay? So for me, my hair, I was eating and I was creating hair to come out in color. This is normal, natural hair. This is my color. Okay? And it has, minerals, it has copper, it has things, it has minerals that were in my body at one point and it's coming out in the hair. It's like an antenna, each hair. Each one is made just a little bit like an antenna for the radio waves. So it functions like this. It came within me and it came out and it is helping to give and receive. As my hair, also I have a few white ones here in front of the ears. אחד פה, יש לי כמה, all around my face, and I talk to them and I ask them and I'm open to the energy and the information. And so the message from my hair is also that the function is changing. So that this white hair is stronger, it's more clear, and it's not only giving and receiving information, it is able to receive energy for me. So it used to be in the past, I generated my hair from what I did inside and my hair came out. Still I'm doing this, but now the hair has a different, higher, elevated function. And this clarity, it doesn't have the same copper, the same metals, the same thing. It's much more clear and much more strong. And the energy can go in this hair and come directly into the pineal gland in my mind. So maybe I need this to happen like this now, and maybe I won't need it like this later. I don't know. Maybe I'll have all dark hair next year. I don't know. But I have a question. I'm open. I'm receiving the information. I'm receiving the energy for me. So you have a question. You have the answer. You brought the answer. You have Eli Tom's answer. He generated for him, for you. You have my answer that I generated for me. And yes, we're part of you. And also you have your own answer that may not be here and may not be here. So I say enjoy. Listen. If you have a question, then listen. And really feel. Feel and listen. Yeah. That's
Awesome.
what I give.
Right.
Thank you.
We're all here at the table, working on these things, so that the goddess can have a chance. So, any more questions before we do a bit meditation?
There will be after time for a question.
I'm not really sure.
Say it
I
again?
think
I'm
you should
not
ask
really sure
questions
that
now.
we'll have time after the meditation for questions. I think after the meditation I will present our schedule in Israel, what's going to happen, so you'll be able to know. And
We're rolling. So what we're about to do now, though, is just to, as we were saying this, that's one thing. Words, first you got to get the education and the theoretical knowledge. But the next thing is the practice. Perfect practice make perfect. When you start applying knowledge, that brings forth wisdom. And that's what brings forth certain types of freedom, empowerment. It's more than just listening, we got to start doing these. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a Qigong, where we're actually going to feel these energies that's all around us and work with them, and so we can come into a realization that this is with us all the time. And every time you go into meditation, you will get stronger and stronger as you relax into the light, because the body is always working to absorb more light. See, when I tell people that, like, you're going to be energetically stronger next year at this time, it don't matter what you do, everybody is. Just by living in this realm of radiation of energy, it's going into your bone. So that's why you can go to a real old person, they'll feel so, sometimes you can feel that cool energy coming off. Oh, they're so sweet. You know, it's an energy that's coming off on them, but they've been here for a while. Now, of course, they didn't get the memo like how we're talking now about different things on maintaining the physical body, but at least we are here now to where we know that we're getting more energetically stronger. So now, everybody get a nice comfortable position. Nice and relaxed. Spine straight up and down. And what we want to do is take our hands and put them right in front of our belly button and just relax. Relax the shoulders. Relax the chest. And just relax the whole body. The more you relax the body, the easier the energy flows. Just feel how your body feels, and allow the body to coordinate itself with the atmosphere around us. Just relax. And this electrical energy will automatically keep going online more and more. Feel the energy in the hands and just relax. Now slowly move the hands all the way up to the top in a nice comfortable position, any position to do. Hands straight up in the air, just like a solar panel. And this cosmic energy that we talked about is constantly raining on the earth both day and night. And it's so powerful, it's going through the ceiling. Relax your hands. Relax your shoulders. Relax your abdomen. Relax the whole body. in this position. Just go where you're comfortable and feel that connection with this prana that's all around us. Now slowly bring the hands in a prayer position in front of our heart chakra. Just rest into this position. Relax the shoulders. Relax the crown chakra. Relax the muscles in the face. Relax the whole body. One more minute in this position. Just feel all that cosmic energy rain on top of us. And the more relaxed the body, the easier the energy flows. That Eve, that goddess inside of us, is automatically making a connection with the forces around it. Slowly take the hands and come down to the first chakra, and then slowly bring the energy up the spine with your hands, nice and slow. Bringing it up the body, up to the chest, up to the face, up to the crown chakra. Nice and relaxed. Now make a nice little circle. All this powerful energy all around us. The cosmic energy is already here. And the goddess is making her connection. Feel that energy flow as you rotate this energy throughout the body. This unlimited power. Nice and subtle. And every time you move the body, it opens up new channels. Nice and relaxed. Feel that flow. And now you can move the hands any way you want to. Use your intuition. Back and forth, up and down. You can even put your waist into it, your shoulders. We live in an atmosphere, an ocean of energy. It's always raining on top of us. That's the male energy. The female energy is us. Just relax. Allow it to come on in. Allow it to flow. The more you relax the body, the easier the energy flows. Nice and relaxed as you work with this energy. Nice and smooth, nice and mellow. Feel that flow. There's no right or wrong move. The connection, the harmony is already there. The awareness is already there. So feel that power. And the more you work with the energy, the higher the energy flows. It's going through us, it's in the blood, the lymph, the plasma. Just feel it as it goes all throughout the body, all throughout our being. Feel that flow. Feel that power. Nice and strong, nice and easy. And this is unlimited power. So the more we purify ourselves, the more this energy will sustain us, give us health, give us peace and happiness. We're one with it all the time. Unlimited energy, unlimited power. This is our consciousness. Nice and easy flow. You can feel it in your hands. You can feel it in your arms. Relax your chest. You can feel it in your abdomen. Anywhere you move. And this energy is everywhere, both day and night. The male and female principle coming together again. So just allow it to flow. You have chakras all over your body, all these energy centers. Always ready to make a connection. And each day, each month, each year, you'll get stronger and stronger working with this energy. This is the pranic path. This is the new idea, the new ideal. All this electricity, this magnetism. We use it to see, we use it to speak, we use it to move. All of this connection. And this is a meditation. Bring awareness to your body. Feel the atmosphere. Feel your connection to the cosmos. There is no empty space. You are connected with everything, all information, all power. Feel that flow all through the legs, all over the body. Nice and relaxed. And every time you move, the channels open up in the body more and more. Filling in your intestines, your hips. Allow the energy to flow through your lungs. You're breathing in this energy, this power. Just allow it to flow. All this wonderful energy gives us life. All we have to do is surrender, relax, and allow the goddess to come to the surface in her fullness. The male and female principle that we all have. Allow the full connection to continually to take place. So feel that energy flow. Nice and relaxed. Nice, good flow. Here you go. Anything that's subtle has nice power, nice strength. In each movement, you can feel the energy working itself through the body, working itself through the crown chakra. You can feel the heart chakra opening up more and more. Nice, good flow. It's all about allowing. Allow the energy to work for you. It's not about force. You'll grow into the energy more and more, day by day. And this is nourishment. Everything you need is in you and around you, within the air we breathe. It's in our being. It's in our bodies. This is the power. Slowly get this energy moving. Slowly get this energy flowing. Nice and relaxed. And the more you relax the body, the easier the energy flows. The blood will automatically clean itself. The heartbeat is opening up different blockages. Just loosen up that energy. Loosen up the shoulders, loosen up the neck. Feel it in the shoulders. nice and relaxed. We come from the solar energy to the lunar energy. Nice and relaxed. Powerful energy, powerful force. The body loves to move. It was designed to move. So allow the forces to work for you. Nice and strong energy. Nice and powerful. Feel that flow. There's chakras all over the body. In the knees and the shoulders. Just work with this energy. Allow it to go through the organs, the kidneys, the heart. All of them feed off the energy. Allow the body to open up itself for these energies. Allow the goddess to come out inside of you, to connect with the male energy, to relax, to receive, to bring forth the power, this creative force. Allow the energy to flow. You're massaging the organs, cleaning the blood. The cells of the body are nourishing themselves, feeding off this high frequency energy. Feel the energy move through your back, move through the shoulders. Nice and powerful. Nice and smooth. Now, next time feel that flow. Go even slower as it works itself through the body, through the fingers, the wrist, and the more you move with the energy, the more you relax, the more you bring on your awareness. You have everything you need inside of you. Just go with the flow and allow this energy to pick itself up. Slowly bring the energy in. Make a nice ball with your hands. Make it nice and strong. You can make it bigger or smaller. And within that ball, put your family, friends, and loved ones inside the ball. Put all of humanity, all the sentient beings inside the ball, the planet Earth and the cosmos inside the ball, put love, joy, and peace inside the ball, and on the count of 3 we're going to lift it up to the universe and give back that what was given to us. Nice and strong.